Good morning, all of you. So today we are going to see the topic design of the two-stage op-amp. So in the last class we have seen about the Miller compensation capacitor, how it is used to increase the overall capacitance of a circuit. So now we are going to see the topic of designing a two-stage op-amp. So the two-stage op-amp consists of the differential amplifier by a source stage with a constant current load. You can see here it consists of a differential amplifier as input stage by a common source stage with a constant current load. So here the current source for the differential amplifier is implemented by a N-channel MOSFET transistor. So the designing of this current source is implemented by using the N-channel MOSFET transistor. So what is the main purpose of this? The two-stage design allows to optimize the output stage for driving the load and the input stage for providing a good differential gain and CMRR. So what is the main purpose of this two-stage network, two-stage op-amp? So the first one is it is going to optimize the output stage for driving the load, and next the second one, it is used for the input for providing a good gain as well as the CMRR. What is the CMRR? Common mode rejection ratio. So the main purpose of this two-stage network is at the output side it is going to optimize the load, and at the input side it is going to increase the differential gain and CMRR, common mode rejection ratio. So here you can see the slew rate of this circuit. You can choose, just write down the slew rate for this two-stage op-amp, and this is the gain for the first stage and this is the gain for the second stage. So a two-stage amplifier, you will be having a two stages. It is used to optimize the output, and it is used to increase the gain and CMR of the input. So just note down the slew rate for this two-stage amplifier as well as the gain for the first stage and the second stage. Next, gain bandwidth. Gain bandwidth, it is the GM1 by CC. Here what is GM? GM is nothing but the transconductor of the first MOSFET. And the next one are the design procedure of a two-stage op-amp. Before that, I'll just give some point. You can note down this: gain bandwidth, output pole, right half pole 0. Last class we have seen about the right half pole 0. The overall output is 0. They will be providing the two current paths that we have discussed in the last class, and this is the positive CMR and negative CMR, and this is the saturation voltage. You can note down these: gain bandwidth, output pole, right half pole 0, positive CMR, negative CMR, and saturation voltage. And the next one is design procedure of two-stage op-amp. So what are the parameters that we have to take into consideration when designing a two-stage op-amp? So what are the main parameters? Gain at DC, this is A suffix V, this is 0 volts. Next, gain bandwidth in GB, input common mode range ICMR, load capacitance, this is CL. These are the suffix. You can take this AV suffix here and CL is suffix, and slew rate that we have seen, output voltage swing and power dissipation. So before designing any two-stage op-amp, we have to take into consideration these all parameters: gain at the DC side, gain bandwidth, input common mode range, load capacitance, slew rate, output voltage swing, and power dissipation. So we have to take all these into account when designing a two-stage op-amp. And there are few steps for designing the two-stage op-amp. Okay, means there are few steps for design procedure for the two-stage op-amp. So I'll just show you all those steps. You can note down those steps, ma. Here you can see these steps, ma. They are how many totally? They are 11 steps. So the first step is choose the smallest device. Okay, means what we are going to do? We are going to take into account the channel modulation parameter. Okay, so first we have to take a device of a smallest length, okay, which keeps the channel modulation parameter constant and giving good matching for the current mirror. Okay, so the current mirror which we are using, so we have to provide a good matching, so which is possible by keeping the channel modulation parameter constant, and that is obtained by taking the smallest device length. So this is the first step that we have to take into consideration when designing a two-stage op-amp. And the second one is choose the minimum value of the compensation capacitor. And the third one is minimum value of the current. Okay, and the next one is maximum input voltage specifications. And the fifth step is we have to verify the poles and zeros. Okay, next we have to achieve the desired gain bandwidth, that we have seen the main parameter. So we have to achieve the desired bandwidth. Next we have to keep the minimum input voltage, so that is been calculated by VDS saturate. Okay, next second pole, that is at the output side, it must be equal to 2.2 times the gain bandwidth. And the ninth one, we have to take the desired current ratio between the 5 and the 6. Okay, next the 10th one is we have to check the gain and power dissipation specifications. Okay, so already we have seen this: gain at DC, gain bandwidth, input common mode range, load capacitance, slew rate, output voltage swing, and power dissipation. And we are taking some of the steps here. We are taking 10 steps here. The first one, we are choosing the smallest device length, and the second one, we have to keep the minimum value for the compensation capacitor. We have to keep the minimum value of the current here. We have to provide the maximum input voltage. We have to check for the pole and zeros, and we have to achieve the greater bandwidth and minimum input voltage. We should maintain minimum input voltage, and we are calculating the second pole, means at the output side P2, what we are calculating, that must be equal to the 2.2 times the gain bandwidth. And the next one is we have to achieve the desired current ratios, and we have to check for the gain and power dissipation specification. So these are the required parameters or procedures that we have to follow for designing a two-stage op-amp. And the next topic is nulling resistor or Miller compensation. So you can see the circuit for the nulling resistor or Miller compensation. So here, why we are going for the nulling capacitor? Okay, so the undesired RHP means what is that? Right half pole zero value, so that we may not be neglected. means that we can't neglect. So this is because the gain bandwidth specification is large and the output transconductance stage is also large. Okay, means what? Here we can't overcome the, or we can't neglect the right half plane pole 0. This is because of the greater bandwidth and the output transconductance stage, greater output transconductance stage. So in order to overcome these two parameters, we are going for a method named as nulling resistor compensation method. Okay, this method is called as the nulling resistor compensation method. This is used where the gain bandwidth and the output transconductance stages are large enough. So what we are seeing here, the transistors, you can see here the transistor M8. Okay, this transistor M8 is used as a resistor and it is controlled by a voltage Vc. It is controlled by a voltage Vc here, which adjusts the resistor so that proper value can be maintained. Means this transistor is used as a resistor and it is controlled by the voltage Vc, which adjusts the resistor so that it is going to maintain the proper value. So due to the addition of this resistor, the resulting poles and zeros, you can see the resulting poles and zeros by adding a resistor in the circuit, which is nothing but a transistor M8, which is going to act as a resistor. So these are the poles and zero values for that nulling circuit. Next you can see here, this is the zero value at the second pole. So now you can see when the DC current is passing through the transistor, what is the zero value? That you can note down this zero value. So here this is the condition where the transistor is in the saturation region. So when we are substituting this in place of here, okay, you will be getting the equation. You can take down this equation, and this condition is achieved when the source to gate voltage of the 11 MOSFET is equal to the source gate of the 6. So therefore, what is this called as, ma? This is width by length. Okay, already you know for the CMOS the equation W by L value. So width by length for the current of that particular, the suffix indicates that particular transistor values. So in the next class, we will see the power supply rejection ratio of two-stage op amps. Okay, thank you.